What's good, y'all? If you tapped in, you already know who I am. If not, my name is Caleb Jarrell. This video is going to be for current athletes, prior athletes, and future athletes. Specifically, athletes that have dealt with injuries, athletes that have dealt with like a sudden cause of like your athletic career changing. One thing I wish somebody would have told me was the depression that you would deal with. You know, I don't know about y'all, but a lot of us, I know I started out playing sports in around second grade. So to go from doing something from second grade and dang near doing it every day to all of a sudden everything switching, nobody warned me for the depression. Nobody warned me for the identity crisis that I would go through. Nobody warned me for the time I would spend reflecting, um, feeling like I did things wrong, feeling like I could have did things better, and ultimately just beat myself up about it. Right? I want you to understand that it's a part of life, for one. Um, the reason I want to say specifically for people that had injuries or whatever is because I also had an injury at the highest point of my football career, whatever you want to call it. So, from my story, I had a lateral bucket handle meniscus tear, and I tore it in my school's first ever playoff game. Also tore it starting at quarterback. So this is a year I started at quarterback. This is a year that we actually have a winning record, which is rare for the school that I went to, and also a year that we made it to the playoffs the first time in school history. So I'm going into the situation at an all-time high, thinking everything is gonna go great. And also, I had just scored to put us up two touchdowns before halftime. So everything was going good. The night was going perfect. Everything was okay. Granted, long story short, I get the ball, I get the snap, I run the ball on the outside, I get tackled, I get spin the opposite way that I'm running, and I hear it pop, and I knew something was wrong. I walk to the sideline, and that's the last time that I can walk on the field that night. And long story short, I found out I had a lateral bucket handle meniscus tear, and I wasn't able to play not only football, but I wasn't able to play baseball or basketball this next season or whatever. So going throughout that situation, um, it took me from being a three-sport athlete to basically not knowing what to do, not knowing what I had a purpose in, not knowing anything about myself really. And even on top of that, I was just getting out of a breakup. So I'm like, bruh. So sometimes life will really like throw things at you, and you don't really understand what you're going through. You don't really understand how to navigate through it. My advice would be to take that same discipline that you get from working out, that you get from, having to watch film, those things, take that same thing and apply it to bettering yourself. Apply it to building certain characteristics about yourself. You feel me? You're not born with discipline. You're not born with consistency. So first of all, continue to work out. Continue to take care of you. Continue to take care of your physical. You feel me? Work out, eat right, focus on nutrition, focus on feeding your body the right things. Continue to do that. Don't lose that. Um, but most of all, build that mentality. That's gonna be my main thing. Build that mentality. You'll find your new purpose. You'll find what it is that you're supposed to do in life. But you have to build that mentality. My whole mentality flipped the moment that I got hurt. The moment that I recognized, okay, they told me I gotta have surgery and I can't walk for 2 to 3 months, so I gotta be on crutches. At 17, do you know like the how that broke me down mentally? Being able to run and walk, kick it with my friends, all of that type of stuff. And not only to go through that by myself, as far as building my physical back up, but also recognizing like the relationships that I had were surface level because some of them I would say because we were only connected because of what we did together. If you ask me who I hang out with or who I talk to with on a regular basis now, I barely talk to about 3 or 4 people that I used to play sports with or that I consider friends. So to lose all of that as far as the sport, but also lose the connection with a lot of people that I considered friends and different things in that same time, I literally had to get broken down and learn how to build myself up, learn how to be okay with being by myself, learn how to pour into myself. And people wonder why, like, I'm so fine with spending time by myself. I can go out and eat at a restaurant by myself. I can go out and watch a movie by myself and be completely fine. It's because I went through a time period in my life where I literally had to get everything taken from me and rebuild my whole life outside of what I could do for other people. And that's the thing about sports. Sports is entertainment. Sports is something that other people can see that potential in you and they'll pour into you because they want you to be great in what you do. But it's going to be rare for you to have people that support you outside of that too. So as long as you got this, they're going to support you. As long as you can play, as long as you can run the ball, as long as you can shoot the ball, they're going to support you. They're going to be there for you. They're going to help you out. But in my situation, the moment that I lost all of that and ability and capability to do all of that, that's when I lost those people too. So that's like a whole type of different mindset. That's a whole type of depression that I wasn't prepared for, that I wasn't able to recognize at the time, that I didn't understand how to navigate. And if you're not careful, you're going to be stuck in it for the rest of your life. Stuck reflecting, stuck being focused on the past instead of, okay, understanding that life threw this at me, but let me keep moving forward. Because at some day it's going to end. At some time it's going to end. So use the sport for the betterment of your character. Use the sport for the betterment of yourself. Right? Boom, you on scholarship? Okay. Let me play this sport. Let me keep my scholarship, but let me use this to get my degree. Let me use this so I can use some of that money to fund a business that I want to start and start investing. Let me use this so I can build relationships. Don't think that just because I have this ability right now, it's going to always be there. Take it as far as you can. I'm never not saying don't do that. If you got the God given gift and ability to do whatever it is, take it as far as you can. But always think about bettering yourself. Always think about the future. Like I said in my last video, focus on now, but think about later. Don't get so caught up in what's going on right now. Don't get so caught up in everything that's going good for you, because at the blink of an eye, it can all be gone. And I'm telling you that from experience. I'm not saying I was going to be the best athlete or whatever, but I definitely had the ability to go play somewhere, and I had the ability to go to school for it if that's what I wanted to do. And it was at some point. That's all I wanted to do at some point, and that's why it hit me. But guess what? When I leaned into that discipline, or when I leaned into rebuilding myself, I was able to find a new purpose. That purpose became cutting hair. That purpose became helping other men. That purpose became being an example. That purpose became being a husband. Right? That purpose became being a positive impact in my community. And I found that through different things, through different other interests that I had. Cutting hair, real estate, music, videos. And all I did was, or all I do is continue to try to pour into those areas. But what helps is that same discipline. I took that same discipline from working out. I took that same discipline from watching film. That same discipline from building relationships and connecting with teammates, and took it into real life. And I know college sports and high school sports, when you take it serious, it's just not easy. It takes discipline. Everybody can't do that. Everybody can't go lift the weights. Everybody can't sit down and watch film. Everybody can't focus on recovery. Everybody can't focus on nutrition. Everybody can't focus on performing every Friday night, every Saturday night, every Thursday night. So you're set apart from a lot of regular and average people. Not in a bad way, but in a good way. Because you already have, in some way, you should be ahead of the game in discipline. inconsistency, because those are things that they teach us. When you have a good coach, those are things that they'll pour into you and drill in your mind so that you understand. But you have to understand they're doing these things to support you outside of the sport. Yes, it's gonna help you in the sport, but I promise you, if you keep those same traits, those same characteristics, those same things that you apply it to real life, apply it to when you find a job, apply it to when you run a business, you will be okay. And the reason I want to harp on this so much is because I have friends now, or I have old friends now, they stuck in their ways. They stayed where they at. They stuck in the same mentality. They stuck in the same thing. So boom, when that was taken away from them, when they got hurt, when they weren't able to go because of academics, they became a part of the environment. They became a product of the environment. So they got stuck in the streets. They got stuck in doing things in a negative light and not positive. And it's easy to do when everything is taken away from you in that aspect, because you're going to go through an identity crisis, because you're not going to understand who you are, because you put who you are in what you do instead of understanding who you are for who you are. Does that make sense? You put who you are in performing every Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. You put who you are in going to practice. You put who you are in playing this sport. And trying to please everybody else. Don't get me wrong, you did it for you and your family because you got the capability, but at the same time, you're entertaining other people, you're helping the team, you're helping your coach. So you put your identity in that instead of putting your identity in knowing and understanding who you are as a person outside of the sport, outside of that God given talent. So what you have to do is focus on finding that. And it just comes with time. It comes with being disciplined. It comes with getting around the right circle. It comes with being open and leaning into other interests also. Did I see myself cutting hair full time? No. Did I see myself owning a barbershop? No. Not at 17, I didn't. But it took me getting that taken away from me and God being like, all right, bet. You've taken this, you've done what you were supposed to do with this. Let me grant you as something that make it be even better in your life. Let me grant you in something that's gonna help other people in life on a bigger scale, on a bigger level than what you may have even imagined. So lean into that. Don't get stuck where you at. Don't get stuck where. Don't die where you was. Don't die where you been at. Continue to live. Continue to grow your mindset. Continue to work on yourself physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially. But most of all, don't let that depression, don't let that negative mindset overwhelm you. Because I believe that you're going to be whoever you need to be outside of the sport. I believe that you'll find it. And I can say that wholeheartedly because I'm not only an example, but I also have other people around me that are examples. They got their degrees. They became lawyers. They became doctors. They went to the army. They went to the Air Force. So life don't have to end there. You continue to make decisions that'll put you in good positions in life, but don't let it be a detriment. Don't let it be the end of the chapter. Don't let it be the end of your story. It may be the end of that chapter. And just keep going. That's the end of the video. Like, comment, subscribe on the road to 1,000 subs.